Um, XL. This is a new phenomenon that's going around in Chelsea fan base. We've been pushed to the brinks, ladies and gentlemen, where we have created a new phenomenon called XL, which is expected loss, much like XG, XA, expected goals. We now have expected loss. Large part of the fan base tend to think we're probably going to lose against Newcastle. It's a shame where we are at the moment mentally, moving into matches thinking we're going to lose. Even the bookies have Newcastle as favourites.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. You have joined Newcastle versus Chelsea match preview. Before we get into all of that, smash the like button. I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy this, and I would love to hear how you feel about this entire match moving into it, and what I have to say as well in the comment section below. Before we talk about Chelsea, let's talk about Newcastle a little bit. This time last year, ladies and gentlemen, Newcastle were at the bottom of the barrel. They were smack bang in the bottom of the Premier League table. And what a rise this has been. Eddie Howe has come in and he's done a madness. And this, for me, is trusting the process. This, for me, is believing in a process, what Eddie Howe has done. Dragging a team from smack bang from the bottom of the pit to Premier League number third. They're third on the Premier League table at the moment. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. There were some stats that was going around the other day that I saw on Twitter. They've apparently picked up the most points since January this year. So that's sensational. And it's not like they've gone out there and bought a whole heap of huge names. They've done shrewd business. Kieran Trippier, Dan Burn, Sven Botman, Bruno Guimaraes, Isaac, who's been injured, so they haven't even been able to get much out of him. I believe Callum Wilson was already there previously. But Eddie Howe, he's been able to implement a particular style of football, and they're absolutely reaping the benefits of it. They're going out there and destroying teams. They're not just winning 1-0, they're beating teams now. They're in such a great space at the moment. It's not even funny. And I'm pretty sure they're going to build on this. I'm very surprised at how quick they've turned this around. Kudos to Eddie Howe. Just shows what level of a manager he is. And Bournemouth, clearly it now shows that it just didn't have enough resources, enough ingredients to allow him to do what he wanted to do. And you know what? Even in Bournemouth, I don't think Eddie Howe was bad. In fact, he was really good over there. Had a very good record against Chelsea, Eddie Howe. And this particular match away from home at St. James's Park, it's not going to be easy, man. It's never easy over there. In recent times, I think our record hasn't been too bad. We've been able to beat them. But with this Newcastle team and where we are in terms of our squad, our development, new manager, new owners, our mentality, I'm not surprised that the bookies out there have Newcastle as the favourites. And Miguel Almiron is probably the biggest player for them at the moment, who's banging in goals. I'm going to show you something. You're going to be so surprised. Check this out. For the month of October, most Premier League goals scored in October. Miguel Almiron 6, Erling Haaland 6, Leandro Trossard 5, Harry Kane 4, Callum Wilson 4, Phil Foden 4. Miguel Almiron is leading in October alongside Erling Haaland and the likes of Harry Kane and whatnot. And you can see Callum Wilson is there as well. So there's 2 Premier League players. This is where all his goals have come from. I mean, he's on fire. Jack Grealish made a silly joke about him, and he's gone next level. This is how the Premier League looks like. The table, ladies and gentlemen: Arsenal on top, Newcastle with 27 points, 14 played, Chelsea 13 with 21 points. We are 6 points behind, but we've got a game in hand. These are the games, ladies and gentlemen. These are the ones that we need to. Newcastle is a direct opposition for us now in the top 4. So for me, they're going to be vying to win as well. They're going to try their level best to beat us. They're looking at this fixture and thinking, that's 3 points for them because of where we are. They want to solidify their position in the top four. We obviously want to make the top four. So this is a crunch match, and this is the final match before we go into the World Cup. This will be, if we don't get a victory, this will be our fifth game without a win. And honestly, I don't remember when the last time something like this has happened to Chelsea Football Club. I was on All You Can Eat Chelsea earlier on today, and Matisse is right. The reason why I can't remember the last time something like this has happened, because managers don't last. If you don't get a victory in 5, essentially those managers don't last. And you know what? I'm not saying Graham Potter, not at all. I didn't want any of the previous managers gone either, to be honest. I wanted them to stick around. Maybe, probably in recent times, Frank Lampard, because at that time when he got sacked, things were very, very poor. Thomas Tuchel was definitely not someone I was looking to let go of, but I knew it was coming if the results continued that way. But certain standards need to be met, man. Certain standards. Still, it's Chelsea Football Club. I get it. It's a transition period, new owners, new coach, a whole heap of new staff, new players. We're potentially going to get more new players. I get it. But you still need to pick up the odd victories here and there. Our last 4, Brentford, should have tried a level best to squeeze out a victory. Newcastle pumped them 4-1. Man United 1-1. Should have been able to keep that 1-0 victory. Brighton, we got walloped. Arsenal, we got dominated as well. So even in those 4 games, the last 4 games, we should have been able to pick up a couple of victories here and there. Do you know what I mean? Squeeze out a couple of victories, very important. So look, it's going to be tough, no doubt about it. This is how Newcastle in recent times they look. 1-0 victory against Everton, 2-1 away from home to Spurs. We couldn't beat Spurs. 4-0 against Aston Villa. We barely got through that match. A couple of individual moments from Mount and Kepa. Southampton, Newcastle beat them 4-1. I'm pretty sure we lost against Southampton earlier this season. Even earlier on, Newcastle, Man United 0-0. 5-1 against Brentford, 5-1. And we had a 0-0 draw against Brentford, and Brentford actually looked better than us. Newcastle 4-1 against Fulham. Look, they're a quality side, as I said. And I think Saint Maximin is looking fit. He has featured in that EFL Cup match against Crystal Palace, where they've gone through into the next round. And as I said, Miguel Almiron, Joel Linton is there, Callum Wilson, who's made the England World Cup squad, and they're going to be buzzing. Trippier is a huge threat for me. Trippier is a huge threat. Okay, let's look at the team that I'm going to go with, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I don't expect us to lose. I really don't. I think we can squeeze out a draw, but that's probably the best. I really can't see how we win, because who's going to score for us? Who is actually going to score for us? These brothers can't finish. If you want to look at our last 5 fixtures, 2-0 against Aston Villa, mistake by Tyrone Mings and a nice free kick from Mason Mount. 0-0 against Brentford, 1-1 against Man United, which was a penalty for Jorginho. 4-1 against Brighton. It was a goal from Havertz. And 1-0 against Arsenal. So we don't score goals. I think we've only scored 4. And out of the 4, 1 was a free kick, 1 was a mistake, 1 was a penalty. It was just the 1 open, play goal, which was from Havertz. So this is why I'm pessimistic. But please, Chelsea, I'll put my hand together. I sincerely hope you surprise me, because it would be a great buzz moving into the World Cup, knowing that Chelsea has won. And this is a crunch match. This is a direct top 4 rival. It cannot get any more deeper than this. I don't know what else can motivate you. I don't know what else will make you get up off your seat and actually put a solid effort. If this can't, then God help us all. Mendy in goalkeeping position. I think that's a clear cut. I'm going with the 3 at the back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going with the wing backs. The reason being, I want to accommodate Lewis Hall, and I want to accommodate Lewis Hall as a left wing back. So that's one of the reasons. Lewis Hall, even though he missed a couple of really good chances against Man City, he's shown enough character, enough attacking prowess for me, which we lack. We don't have enough in the attacking area, so I want to use him. In the LCB position, who do I use, man? Cucurella, Koulibaly Cucurella hasn't been too bad as a left LCB, if I'm being honest. I think some of the criticism towards Cucurella has been a bit unwarranted. I'll probably go with Koulibaly. Give Cucurella a little bit of a break. Maybe he can come off the bench. This is the last match before the World Cup. So Thiago Silva in this important match. Chalobah has probably been our best defender since he's taken over from Wesley Fofana. So Chalobah continues on. He hasn't made the World Cup, so this is his final match. So finish things off with a bang. In the left wing-back position, Lewis Hall, ladies and gentlemen, and Omari Hutchinson, both of them have trained with the first team, and they're traveling to Newcastle. They're traveling with the squad. So I'm using Lewis Hall. I'm using him. I would even love to use Omari Hutchinson if I can. But I don't think he's going to start. I'm hoping he comes off the bench. Lewis Hall, I think he's shown me enough. And as I said, as an attacking threat, I'll use him. Aspie as the right wing back, I don't want to try all this Ruben Loftus-Cheek, this, that, the other. I know they can do some job, but at least with Aspie, you're going to get some sort of defensive capabilities. So I'm keeping Azpilicueta and going with a traditional player. This is a huge problem for us. And come January, we need to rectify this. In the middle, going with a tried and tested Kovacic and Jorginho. I don't want to hear Zakaria. Don't even mention Zakaria to me. That brother, I saw, and now I understand why he hasn't been selected. Dinamo Zagreb, sure, no problems. Play against those teams. But when it comes to Man City, he was a passenger. He was literally not being able to keep up with anything. And against Newcastle, who are high-flying, Zakaria is going to be put in a spliff, if I'm being absolutely honest. So I'm going with tried and tested Jorginho, Kovacic. Hopefully we can control the match predominantly possession-base-wise. And I'm giving them 3 defenders as protection as well. Up front, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going with, on the left side, Christian Pulisic. Honestly, it's borderline insulting now that the fact that he's been playing fairly decently enough. I know he's missed a golden opportunity against Man City. I get that. But it's insulting now that the fact that some of our players were out of form and Christian Pulisic still can't take the position. Like, every time he's played in recent times, he's actually done well. Against Man City, I thought overall he at least was doing something. Like he was creating some sort of chaos. Yes, he didn't score, and I hope he does, but I'm starting him, man. At least he gives us something. I need players that it's going to give us something. I know you're going to get upset when you see this name on the right side. The only reason I'm using him is because I think he will play. I know he's out of form. I'm still not going to put him down. I think he's a very, very good player. If it was my preference, I probably would have started Ziyech. I'm not even going to lie. I know you're going to laugh at this. Everyone right now is saying, oh my God, Miz with a bias. I would actually start Ziyech. Ziyech actually produced a couple of really good chances against Man City. He's one of those players that can pull out a bunny out of nothing. So I would have started him, but it's not going to happen. Ziyech won't start. It will be Sterling, and I'm going with Sterling, and I'm hoping Sterling does a bit of a madness on the right side just before the World Cup. Up front, we all know it's going to be Aubameyang. Amanda Broya probably didn't produce enough against Man City, but then again, did we give him enough service against Man City? Probably not. But I think it's going to be Aubameyang. He's the more clinical goal scorer, so it's potentially going to be him. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the lineup I'm going with. Mendy in the goalkeeping position, going with the 3 at the back. Koulibaly, Silva, Chalobah. In the wing back, I've got Lewis Hall, Azpilicueta, Kovacic, and Jorginho in the middle. Christian Pulisic on the left side, Aubameyang in the middle, Sterling on the right. And obviously, we're going to use our bench in the likes of Gallagher, Mount. Then you've got Ziyech, whoever else Ruben Loftus-Cheek will use. Let me know what you think, how you feel about that particular lineup, how you feel about moving into this match. Honestly, my score prediction, probably 1-1. I can't see how we win. I know in All You Can Eat Chelsea, I said Newcastle probably going to win 1-0, but I'm giving myself at least a 1-1 draw. You let me know what your score prediction is, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. And I shall see you guys for the watch along. Hopefully Chelsea give us something to cheer, man. Hopefully they give us something to cheer. So, yeah.